as you're looking at the entire Breath of the Sandman arc, and which went on for a long time, and go, where do we begin? How much was there a thought of like, look, every issue is an episode, or did you know, like, look, we could pack way more into an episode? How do you decide how much of the story to portion out? Because in comics, it's easy, 22 pages, and then you're on to the next thing. But here you have more time. How did you figure out how to create the episode lengths?
It was very tricky because, there's two ways of going at something. You can just turn it inside out, empty the box of pieces, and then put it back together like a set of Lego into a different thing. But quite early on, it became clear to me, Sandman is so loved by everybody. There is so much reverence for it. And Neil's a flipping good writer, frankly. He really is. In fact, I emailed him while I was writing the scripts to say, do you know how good you are? Which is, really redundant, because hopefully he does, but hopefully he's not listening. And so what I thought was, going back to the original scripts that he submitted to the artists and to the inkers and Todd Klein was the place to start. And Neil very kindly sent me, he delved through these dusty hard drives and found the stuff and sent it to me. And I start reading his instructions to the artists, and I suddenly find this motherlode of Gaiman that has never been really experienced. I know that Neil released some of the scripts at the back of The Absolute, for example, but there is all this wonderful language describing what you're seeing, which no one's ever heard. And it's actually quite poetic. He's a bit of a Dylan Thomas on the quiet, he's sort of knocking out the iambics and the what have yous and the blank verses.
Writing for an audience of one, by the way, or maybe like three acts, like wasting beautiful prose on only three people, the smallest audience of all time.
It's like a clockmaker, making all the stuff that you don't see inside an old clockwork clock, all those beautifully polished parts and jewel bits and so on. You never see it, but it's in there and it creates the final effect. And that's what was in Neil's writing to these people. And it was just a no-brainer at this point. Neil had already sort of said, I'd quite like to be narrator. And I'd said, I'd quite like you to be narrator. But the other part was that I just had the script he had to read his own words, put us, we're kind of, standing over him as he writes this stuff in a sense, except we're also in his head. We're seeing the pictures he is seeing. So really, that was the best fun ever, was to get this off the page and then to hear Neil read it. I really should have charged tickets. It was great.